The same question, how come there isn't any locking competitions, and how can we get people interested? The same question, how come there isn't any locking competitions, and how can we get people interested in locking?
Why you gonna give it to me? I just told you.
Because Flo stays on the locking scene.
But you did it in the soul.
Flo Master, ladies and gentlemen, Flo Master.
Well, for the locking scene, it's not enough locking teachers. That's for number one. You know, you don't have a lot of locking teachers, so if you don't have locking teachers, guess what? You don't have locking classes. You know, and it's not really a lot of competition in the U.S., period, anyway. All the competitions are in Europe, Japan, Italy. Everything is out of the country. It's not here. It started from here, but it's not here. Because it goes back to me once again. Nobody wants to give back. Everybody wants to take. And everybody keeps blaming, well, they don't love us. They don't, they hate our culture, or the government don't want to support it. But we're not even supporting our own dance. We're really not. You got in Korea, you got the government supporting hip-hop. The government supporting hip-hop. All them Asian little dudes have to do is practice and destroy you. That's it. And they get paid. We don't have that here. So we gotta start, like I said, giving back, start learning, and stop getting egos. Dancers have egos where they think they don't have to learn from people. They don't think that their ego is too much to learn a dance style. We learn dance styles for one another. We need each other. We need crumping, we need popping, we need locking, we need breaking, we need everything as one. To make us go to the next level, we need to share, because we all doing one thing, expressing ourselves.
I'm not sure if another evolution would bring us back together. I think what would happen is what's happened now. It would be hot for a minute, and the people who are really killing it at the top will keep themselves at the top, and everything underneath that will probably continue to just once again deteriorate. So I think we should strengthen what we have already, or go back and remember what we have already. It's like Flo says, he tours the world, and he sees the world advancing in dances that we created here in America. And if we're not even hot about it, then that's not going to bring them here. It's not going to bring anyone else here currently trying to advance the dance and make themselves better. So I'm not sure if that would be helpful. An evolution.
So I'd like to hear your perspectives on, both ciphers and battles.
I can answer that here.
No, you do.
Okay. You know what? That's just dancing, baby.
Yes.
That's just dancing. You're gonna be in a club and you're kicking it with your girl and everything is good. And all of a sudden you hear that beat, but I got my boys over there. That's what it is. And no disrespect to the house dancers in that scenario, but if they're not bringing the heat, then don't get mad who's cooking in the kitchen. You know what I mean? So that's just dance life. That's just dance life. If it starts out all love and roses and daisies, that's cool. If it turns to more aggressive and warrior-like, which street dancing is, then that's what it goes down to. But at the end, those two guys in the circle, that was dope. You killed it. That's love.
Everything what he just said, but the only problem I have when two people battling and then they go at it, the only thing I hate is when a fight is about to start. Because this is not a fighting, just like you just said, you testing your skills against my skill. When it's off the floor, we leave it off the floor. Hey man, it was good, man. You got me. I'm gonna get you next time. That's that. But so many people wants to fight. They want to bring this gangster mentality in this dance. That's not what this is. This is about expressing ourselves, me testing my skills against your skills. That's all this is.
How did you develop that progression?
Well, as far as me, to help usher out, as far as breaking is, I go straight to the basics. I go to push-ups, handstands, holds, and all that, because he wants to do a lot of handstand freezes. So you can't teach somebody how to do a handstand freeze if he can't hold a handstand. So you put him up against a wall, try to hold his legs up so his hands or his arms can get strong to hold his body. Then when that comes, then you start teaching them moves, you know, and then I started teaching them 6 steps, you know, basic 6 steps, holding each move for about a minute, then switch to the next one, to another minute, until his whole body just gets so strong, so then when I start teaching, then I can start teaching them going up and up. But the problem is, a lot of people who's teaching breaking now are actually hurting people because they're trying to teach them how to spin on their head when their neck is not even strong. They're teaching them how to flip when their legs can't even get up off the ground. It's like, you gotta think of when you're teaching somebody breaking, because breaking is a hard dance. Like, I had 9 knee surgeries on my knees from breaking. Oh, now, hold on now, don't get it twisted now. Don't get it twisted. But you have to start training people. Like, we gotta look at ourselves as athletes. We are athletes. We might don't got the athletes' money, but we are athletes. So we need, not yet. We need to come together to get there. But we need to start treating our body like we're athletes. We need to really start thinking, like, if I can't hold myself up, why in the hell am I going to try to do a freeze? So that's how I started training Usher, just to get him stronger before I started training him as far as the breaking moves.
Well, I'm currently working with an artist right now, so what he does really comes from what Flo just says. It comes from the basics. So before I start throwing choreography at him, I have to make sure he understands the fundamentals. Because if you understand that, the foundation, the disciplines, and what moves in and throughout of your technique, then adding choreo is simple. With Janet, however, because she's a Jackson, because of her DNA, her pedigree, that wasn't hard at all. That wasn't hard at all. But we did do the same process. You know, we went into the studio, before there was an album, we went to the dance studios and just vibed to music. You know, I was teaching her just some of the foundations in popping, some of the foundations in locking. And that really became the recipe, and I didn't know it at the time, but that really became the recipe and the foundation for where we were going to be going later. So it does, it starts at the basics. It should start at the basics.
On that, I'm just, you know, companies taking over it.
I don't think nothing's wrong with it, because our dance got to evolve, but it's the thing I got a problem with them big competition is they're making b-boying become a circus act. Now it's about the tricks. It's no longer about the dance. B-boys are dancers. We are dancers before any circus act. So if we can keep the dancing and get that respect as a dancer, I'm all for it, baby. But when it comes to, because I see BC1, I see all that, it's a circus act. You got guys who's doing flares in 90s and they're winning they winning contests, and then you got people who does what this dance is and they're losing. It's like, come on, you gotta keep your fundamental, you gotta keep what this dance is. If you're not, then don't call it b-boying, call it who got the best tricks. And that's it.
One more. You know, just who really started to just give you that drive to dance?
Everybody knows when you see me dance, I love funk. And I love to act like a clown. So my inspiration is Morris Day and the Times. I love Prince, James Brown, Michael Jackson. He was in the Jackson 5 when he was in the Jackson 5. When he was just incredible. I just love all that humor and all that funk. Like, they didn't do too many moves. It was just the way that they can just make you be like, oh, what the hell is he doing? He just moving his shoulder. It's just so funky. Like, so they was my big inspirations.
Same. I mean, really. Michael, Prince, JB, Earth, Wind and Fire, Shalimar. I mean, I could keep going. You know, I look young, but I'm a lot older than I am. So I grew up, and I tell my classes, and you know, listen, you can't mess with me musically because I come from 3 decades deep of live musicianship. So I know music. You know, I really, in my classes, that's what I play. I play stuff that you can hear horns and guitars and bass and keyboards and the hi-hat, a real one, you know? And dancing, you know, my influences started with the Lockers. Went to the Electric Boogaloos, the Jackson 5 when Michael was killing the robot. You know, Prince, Baryshnikov, if you kids don't know who I'm talking about, do your homework. You know, Fred Astaire, Gene Kelly. I mean, I just love to dance. So, you know, for me, it's whatever inspired me, whoever was excellent at their game, at that craft. That's what inspired me. It still inspires me. Still a student.